Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So glad to be here. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been together. Few days. I am so nervous that my sound won't be working that you're going to see me look over here probably 1,000 times in this video. And if there's anything about me that you can just guarantee, it's that I exaggerate about 1,000,000,000 times a day. It won't be 1,000. If you see me doing this, it's because I'm worried about my sound. But I'm glad you're here. Glad we can be together. Today, we are talking about something I find terribly sad, and it is the deaths of these two young people, both 24 years old, both last seen alive on June 25th. And the news came out today that their bodies had been found. This makes me sad because I think, any untimely death makes me sad, but I think that this one might be one of those situations where we've got one of the parties killing the other and then turning the proverbial weapon or the literal weapon on themselves here. And so who we have here is Chandler Kubander, age 24, firefighter, Georgia, and Reagan Anderson. This is Reagan in 2018. I think she graduated from high school in 2018. But I thought it was a cute picture, and I wanted to show something that was a little happy, I guess. Anyway, Reagan, at the time of her death, also 24, also a firefighter. And these two young folks were in a 7-year relationship with one another. Long time, man. That is a little, what is that? A quarter of no more than that. It's like 30% of their entire lives they spent together. But apparently there was a falling out. There was a breakup between Ms. Anderson and Mr. Kubander. And I just want to kind of get into the details a little bit about this, and maybe we can talk about it. Let's head on over to Acrobat, shall we? This is a Facebook post. Let me back it up just a little bit so you guys see the whole thing. There we go. This is a Facebook post from Aurora Kubander. She says, I know you guys can't see this, but let me get it out of my way. There we go. 5 days ago, help us find my brother. I have an emergency. My brother has been missing since yesterday afternoon. Last seen in a gray t-shirt, black shorts, black Vans. His name is Chandler Kubander. He is 24 years old, 5'11", medium build. You can count on family of emergency responders to be able to succinctly describe the person that's missing here. His phone has been turned off, and the last anyone heard from him was 11:19 a.m. His last known to have been obtained. It's kind of strange language here, but we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? They were in the middle of an emergency here by a woman named Reagan Anderson. She is a danger to herself, and he is believed to not be with her willingly. Both phones are off, but the last known location was Cosby, Tennessee, around 7:30 p.m., June 25th, 2024. I'm going to bring you over to maps here. Let's look up Cosby, Tennessee. Okay. Man, give me just a second here, guys. Let's just say here, we're going to bring you over to the website here. Cosby is this little light area right on the west side of the Cherokee National Forest outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. So we can kind of back up, kind of see where we are within Tennessee. So this is a Georgia couple. We're going to get back to the map here in just a second, okay? So we believe to be headed straight for Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area. The car they are known to be in is a black, low-profile 2017 Ford Focus with Georgia license plate reading GEX 655 with a firefighter logo on the plate. If you see either of these two or the car, please call 911. Message me if you can help or have any info. And then here are the pictures of Chandler and Reagan. She also posted some of the other photos that I have shown. Okay. So that's kind of the setup. Now, the articles that I want to read for you today, this one is from USA Today. 2 Georgia firefighters who disappeared were found dead in Tennessee. Autopsy underway. The bodies of 2 Georgia firefighters who disappeared late last month were located in Tennessee, police said. The Hinesville Police Department announced on yesterday, that authorities found Reagan Anderson and Chandler Kubander in Coke County, Tennessee. In addition to the remains, police said Anderson's vehicle was also found. According to local news, the duo was last seen at Liberty County Fire Services on June 25th in Georgia. Let me just bring that up on the map here real quick. Give me a second. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So bringing you over here. I'm going to hide this. It's about a 6-hour drive from where they were in Liberty County, Georgia, to make it all the way up to there to the Cosby area. So yeah, we're 6 hours, 30 minutes, 6 hours, 52 minutes, 7 hours. So 6.5 to 7 hours away from where they were last seen. Okay. Liberty County Fire Services is deeply saddened to receive the news regarding Lieutenant Reagan Anderson and senior firefighter Chandler Kubander, Fire Chief Brian Darby said in a statement. These two extremely dedicated employees put their hearts and souls into protecting and serving the citizens of Liberty County. Our prayers and those of the department are with the families during this difficult time. The autopsy is underway to identify the bodies and figure out the cause of death. Before their bodies were found, authorities released a missing flyer. Let me bring that one up here real quick so you guys can see it. It's a Facebook post. This is the missing flyer here. Picture of the car, picture of both of them, both good pictures, so you can see what they look like. So that said that Anderson and Kubander were traveling in a 2017 Ford Focus with dark tint, smoke-out taillights, and a Georgia license plate. WTOC reported that Anderson and Kubander were once romantically involved. On June 22nd, days before they went missing, there was an incident at an Olive Garden. According to a police report obtained by the outlet, Anderson went into the restaurant and saw Kubander on a date. So they had recently become ex-intimate partners or partners, whatever we want to call them, right? They were in a relationship with one another. Quote, Ms. Anderson caused a disturbance with Mr. Kubander, and she walked outside and keyed his vehicle, the report said. The Coke County Sheriff's Office and Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are leading the probe in this case and are working to determine the circumstances leading to their death. The Sheriff's Office and the TBI did not identify the firefighters by name. Of course, we know who they are. They are Chandler Kubander, Reagan Anderson. Quote, their bodies have been sent for an autopsy to determine the cause and manner of death, the agency said in a statement to USA Today. Additional information will be provided once the individuals have been positively identified. At this time, the investigation is ongoing. Now, this was a report from today. Another report that I wanted to bring you guys shows a timeline, and we can just kind of understand a little more details of what happened. Let me back this up just a little bit more here. Okay, Hinesville, Georgia. It makes me wonder if I got the right map there. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I did. Okay. Chandler Kubander, 24, Reagan Anderson, 24, were last seen alive on June 24th near the Oglethorpe Mall in Savannah. So we have conflicting reports, June 24th, June 25th. Family members say the Liberty County firefighters were romantically linked for several years, but recently broke up. Their bodies were found 6 days later, more than 300 miles away. Here's what we know about the events surrounding their disappearance and death. Saturday, June 22nd at 6:23 p.m., Pooler police respond to the Olive Garden on Pooler Parkway following a report of a domestic disturbance. According to the incident report, Anderson walked into the restaurant and confronted Kubander as he was on a date. The confrontation leads to the parking lot where Anderson reportedly keyed Kubander's vehicle. She is charged with criminal damage to property, second degree, and disorderly conduct. 2 days later, so June 24th at 10 a.m., Chandler calls his mother and tells her that Reagan has been blowing up his phone. He is seen going to Crunch Fitness at the Oglethorpe Mall. Blown up his phone, meaning she's texting, she's calling. 11:40 a.m., same day, June 24th, video shows Kubander leaving the gym, but police say he never returned to his vehicle. Video also shows Anderson's vehicle, the black 2017 Ford Focus, driving through the parking lot about the same time. So I don't know how they know he didn't return to his vehicle, but then it shows, oh, this must be showing him arriving at the gym or something. We'll talk about this in your comments, guys. Following their disappearance, Hinesville police officers go by Anderson's home and find it unlocked and find a note that leads them to believe Anderson may wish to harm herself. This is Reagan. And guys, listen, I mean, I'm an old man who has been married a long, long time, coming up on 25 years, but the acute pain that one feels when they are heartbroken never leaves you. It never leaves you. It's been a long time since a girl broke my heart, but I get it. I get the pain of it. I get the what is the right description of it? It's the despair of it. It's so difficult. And I can also understand how a young woman aged 24, if you are over 24, think of yourself when you were 24, right? I think of myself at 24. And while at the time I thought myself a mature guy who had the world by the horns, I was an absolute idiot. I was inexperienced. I was unwise. And so I can just thinking about Reagan Anderson in this situation where for 7 years, I understand they had been a couple, 7 of her 24 years, they had been a couple. I can acutely feel that despair of heartbreak, right? And then maybe having that boil into anger or, I don't know, rage at knowing that the other person isn't feeling the same, or feeling like the other person isn't feeling the same. It's rough, man. It's tough. I mean, if Ms. Anderson is the perpetrator of a crime here, it doesn't excuse that crime at all. I'm just putting myself in her shoes. I've been in both. I think we all have. Any of us with any life experience have been on both sides of that, right? Where we're the one that have not been able to move on, and where we have been the one that has moved on. Yeah, it's tricky. These are young people navigating very difficult things. Doesn't excuse if a crime was committed, for sure. Okay. 2 days later, the 26th, Hinesville police issue a notice to the media about the disappearance of Kubander and Anderson. At the time, the pair's last known location is near Cosby, Tennessee, possibly headed in the direction of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. And they basically they put out. I mean, well, we looked at that flyer. That is basically what police put out. That flyer over here, right? It just looked like that. Had the car, had pictures of them, had the license plate, and that is a pretty, I guess, distinct car, I would say. Anyway, so police put out that. Then on Thursday, the 27th, Kubander's parents speak with WJCL 22 news about the missing pair. Here's a picture of the Liberty County Islands Fire Station. On the 28th, Hinesville Police Chief Tracy Howard talks to the media about the circumstances of the case. And this appears to be a photo of Ms. Anderson next to the car, right? What was it that they said? Let's open that up here real quick. Come on. I don't want to. Let's mute this tab in case it auto plays here, which it definitely is. Okay. So this is terrifying, said Jane Kubander. We have no answers. This is Reagan Anderson pumping gas at an unspecified South Carolina Circle K. WJCL 22 received security camera of Reagan Anderson's vehicle. No, I think this was Kubander's vehicle, wasn't it? Isn't that what? Now I'm confused. And you know what? Reporters get things wrong from time to time. Let me just make sure that. Let's see. They're in the car there. None. Oh, maybe it is her car. I thought it was his car. Okay, so this is her car, I guess. Sorry about the confusion there, guys. Okay. Pumping gas, Circle K, South Carolina. My understanding is his phone pinged at the same gas station where she lost her debit card and can be seen pumping gas, says Chief Tracy Howard at the Hinesville Police Department. From what I'm able to see, I could not tell he was in the vehicle. The last time a phone pinged Hinesville Police or Kubander's family happened around 7:40 p.m. Monday night in Cosby, Tennessee, their last known location. The family believes they're going to the area, blah, blah, blah. I would encourage anyone that may come in contact with them to call 911, so forth. Jane says, we really hope he keeps going. Just keep sharing the information. But we really want to find him and bring him home. All it takes is one time seeing him for us to find him. We hope both of them are fine. Both of them come home, said Justin Kubander, Chandler Kubander's father. Then we'll go from there once we get them both back. So these are two parents who are concerned about their son, also concerned about his ex-girlfriend, right? I mean, she was a part of his life for 7 years, crying out loud. She's practically part of the family at that point, right? Okay, let's get back over to Acrobat. Where was I? I was over here. So here she is filling up the gas pumps. Okay, the bodies of Kubander and Anderson are discovered on Sunday, June 30th in the morning along Hollow Road in Cosby, Tennessee. The circumstances surrounding their deaths remain under investigation. Reagan Anderson, Chandler Kubander, alongside Anderson's vehicle, were discovered in Cook County east of Gatlinburg. HPD says details about the discovery aren't available at the time. The pair had been missing since Monday, June 24th. Family members say the two firefighters were romantically involved for years, but recently broke up. Then this is a public notice from the Hinesville Police Department that I can, let me back it up for you again. Man, I really didn't prepare that. All right. Public notice. We regret to inform the public that the bodies of missing persons, Reagan Anderson, this is Reagan, and Chandler Kubander, there's Chandler, along with Anderson's vehicle, have been discovered in Cook County, Tennessee. Tennessee authorities are currently investigating the scene. Details pertaining to the discovery of their bodies, vehicle, and events leading to their deaths are not available at this time. Questions should be directed to the Cook County Sheriff's Office or the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. We extend our deepest wrong button, sorry. We extend our deepest condolences to the Anderson and Kubander families during this incredibly difficult time. So that is what I have on our. So what we don't know here, guys, is the circumstances surrounding their deaths and what it was that led to it. I do sometimes think, though, like I guess I've just been jumping to the conclusion that that this is another one of those. I don't want to say the word. It's a murder, and then the murderer turns the weapon on themselves. Sometimes there are just cases that we look at that we're like, yeah, I think I know what this is going to be. Do you guys remember the case of Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra, for example, down, I think that was in the Houston, Texas area, where we were all, well, I was anyway, I was like, oh, this is gang related for sure, right? So that one, I guess I'm jumping to conclusions, but let me see what your comments are here. Jamie is jumping in first out of the gate, crying out loud. Hey, let me just pause here for a second. Head on over to my browser window. And yeah, let me just point this out. Jamie is quick. I put up a new little link up there to a blog that I've been working on for a little bit. That I will be, basically blogging. And I've got lots of stuff in there. So if you go to gavinfish.com/blog, that is where you will find my blog. While I've got you over here, I should bring you guys into what about there? There we go. See that little fish right there? If you click on that, that'll take you over to the Fish Tank, which is our Facebook group. We like to chitty chat over there and share all sorts of things, so including the videos that I go over. So please head on over there. Thank you for that comment, Jamie. All right, let's see what, I'm just going to go through some comments here real quick. See if there are any that tagged me. Let's see. Paul Morey says, Gavin, I have not heard anything from Reagan's side of the family. I haven't either. And I searched and searched. All I could find was stuff from Chandler's side of the family. I do have to say that they, in their posts and so forth, they have been very concerned not only for their son, but also for his ex-girlfriend, which, I just can't even imagine being in that kind of position. And by the way, guys, if you do put GF in the comment, people who have been on here for a long time know already, and my mods tend to put it in there. In fact, I think Autumn already did, because Autumn's on top of things, right? If you have a comment that you want me to see, just go ahead and put GF in that, okay? MJ says, Gavin, firsts are hard. First real loves, first grown-up relationship, breakup for both of them. It's tough. Yeah. Paul Morey says she left a note in her apartment, as we read. Yeah, so that looks to be the only ones that have tagged me in there. Let me just see what else you guys are talking about here before we go. Queen Olive says, hello, everyone. I saw Olive and read Olive Garden immediately. Nice to see you, Ruth Ann. This case proves abuse has no gender. Yeah, I think the statistics bear out that in domestic relationships that turn violent and turn abusive, typically it is the woman in the, let's say, heterosexual relationship that tends to be the abusee, and it tends to be the man that is the abuser, but that is not always the case, as Mooney reminds us. Thank you for that, Mooney. Mooney, by the way, guys, is my very first channel member. She has been supporting me for a long time, and I deeply appreciate it. Um, let's see. Ella Blue. I love that name, Ella Blue. We had friends back in California who named their daughter Ella Blue. They had her about the same time we had our Josephine. That's a great name. Good afternoon from Alberta. This is an extremely heartbreaking case. Yeah, it is. It really is. Thank you for that. Um, Cyber Sleuth Steph. Good to see you, Steph. So tragic for their families and friends. Wish it didn't end this way. Me too. Paul Morey seems to be really has his or her finger on the pulse of this case. I did not know that Reagan's father had passed away recently. So yeah, she has been in a difficult time in her life for sure. If that is the case, um, yeah, he had moved on. Reagan didn't, and I talked about this a little bit. Sometimes I think we all understand what it feels like to be on both sides of that, right? I No, I have stories to tell. It's not like I have long stories to tell or many stories to tell, but I also like am friends with all of the all of the former loves of my life starting from when I was a child. I'm friends with them, so I because I don't have their permission to talk, so I probably shouldn't do that. Um let's see. Let's see. Televisio Originale says 3 minutes behind you, wondering if the missing firefighter in Minnesota has any connection. Paranoia much? It is so off. Three young firefighters missing around the same time. Yeah, I don't think that there's a connection between the two. I think they're definitely separate cases, but it is funny how our minds that was described to me as your reticular activator. When you become aware of something, you tend to see that thing more often. The first time that was explained to me is in 2004, I bought a brand spanking new Ford F-150 Lariat Super Crew. It was a beautiful, fully loaded machine. It was the last new car I ever bought. And like I thought it was the most amazing thing that nobody had a car like mine. And I saw, as soon as I drove it off the lot, I saw five of them before I was on the freeway. Pretty funny. Um, okay, GF says Byron Dennis Anderson, 52, passed away Thursday, January 11th, 2024, after a brief illness. Yeah, thank you very much. Tracy lives in Georgia, has not heard about this. Yeah, I heard about it from one of my favorite YouTubers, Gazella K from Grizzly True Crime. Did a video on this a couple of days ago before it was known that they had been found. That's how I found out about it. Yeah, let's see. Cat Mac says, I was looking for an update on this case and I was so very afraid of this outcome. I am so, so sorry to Chandler's family. And I think Cat also to her family, to Reagan's family, right? Sending so much love to everyone that loves him from West Virginia. Yeah, I'm sorry for both of them. I really am. And you know what? I just there's no excuse for if this is a crime the way we all think it is a crime, there's no excuse for defending it. But it's important to understand what leads up to these kinds of things if we can. And that's why I try to come at it from that direction. It's just, I think that if she did what she did, she went from heartbreak to rage really, really fast and wasn't able to control it. And it's very, very, very sad. New England Coast says this is not the ending I was hoping for. Heartbreaking loss. Yeah. Um, Young Black Economist says, I'm 31 and my friends that got married young are miserable or divorced. I'm living free, taking vacations to France. It's short sighted to get wrapped up so young and tragic to do something permanent. So I am happy for you that you found happiness this way. I do have to, I would, um, I agree with you. many of my friends got married younger than I did, and got. Of course, I'm from a different generation. I'm not 31. I'm almost 50, right? But when we got married at 24, that was kind of on the high end, maybe mid to high range. There were plenty of my friends from high school and church and stuff like that that got married younger, and they did end up divorcing pretty quickly. But I did not find I wasn't able to find happiness alone. Like the best day, the most blessed day of my life was the day I watched Kimberly Compton walk into a room, and that was it for me. And I have been happy ever since. So you can find happiness both ways. Young Black economist, I'm glad you found your happiness your way. That's amazing. Um, let's see. Stray cats. We don't know who killed whom, or if somebody else, um, killed them. What we're all feeling is what Leela is saying here, that she probably did it. But yeah, and Leela, thank you very much for saying allegedly. Let's see. Melody Kenneth a Day says his mom has dropped hints of abusiveness in the past. I don't think it's something she just started. Hmm. You know, again, I have all these stories that I want to tell, but I don't have permission to tell them. And the people that I want to tell them about are all people that I really love. I don't want to talk out of school. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Jamie clarifies we actually don't know yet how they died. It's believed that she is the one that did it. Agnes Goodwin says the couple were separated 2 years. Last few days, she bought a gun and sent him a picture. So she must have stalked him. It made him, yeah. So those are the rumors. I have seen rumors like that on Facebook, in the Facebook group that was dedicated to trying to find Chandler and Reagan. But I haven't been able to find an official report stating as such, or a quote from somebody like his parents or her mom or something like that. So they went to South Carolina, then Tennessee. Yeah, so they headed north and then turned west, I guess, right? A cat lover says that you think he was dead already, which is possible. Nifty 50 says if she can kill her ex and then herself, she had a lot more wrong than just a broken heart. Yeah, I first, again, we don't know the circumstances of the deaths. There are rumors, and we all feel that it's going that way for sure. And yeah, I can't disagree with you. If that is what happened, I don't think it's possible for a sane person, for a person without some kind of mental disorder or mental illness or some kind of psychotic break or something like that, to be able to kill another human being unless it's in like war or something like that, or self-defense. I don't think a sane person could do that. So thank you for adding that, Nifty 50. I appreciate that. Cat Max, Cat Matt. Wow, I'm having a hard time with your name. Cat Mac. It was reported that it was his car that she drove, but I think it was reported incorrectly. Yeah, I think you're right. Once I looked back at the post and everything, that was her car for sure. I'm gonna skip ahead. Mooney took care of a bunch of people. Mooney, you are amazing. Thank you very much for caring for my viewers and giving them memberships. You are the best. That's probably the fourth or fifth time you've done that, Mooney, or maybe even more. Thank you for doing that. Autumn knows Mooney is amazing. By the way, guys, a couple months ago, I did a live event, not a live stream, like a live event that was not recorded up here in Western Pennsylvania, and Mooney made the trip with her Snuggly Bear to come and attend that. It was fun to meet her in person. Mooney, you are the best. Thank you. Let's see. Who said? Let's see. So Gloria McDonough, I definitely agree, but she was already mentally unstable and she was in a bad place and she felt like she couldn't live without him and no one else couldn't be with him. Sad endings. Yeah, I did a Gloria. Thank you for that comment. I did a like a Google search for can't live without like syndrome, and I wasn't really able to find what I was hoping I was going to be able to find. But I think that's a real thing. Like can't live without him, can't live with anybody else living with him or her. You know, however, whatever the genders are. But I think that is a real thing, and I wish that she were able to. I wish that she would have been able to find some help. Agnes, nice and loud. Gavin, they were separated 2 years. He had moved on. She still wanted him. Yep, I saw that a little bit earlier. Lori says, Gavin, she could have been set off and really hurt by him being on a date so soon after the breakup. Yeah, totally possible. Kimberly, they both were loved by many. Mental health issues, yes. Extremely selfish, yes. Yeah. You know, when you go into, like, I'm not speaking from experience in this particular case, but you know, when you do spiral into depression and anger and stuff like that, it does seem to put blinders on oneself, right? That I don't know, that dizziness or blinders that come from just falling deep down into either depression or anger or rage or whatever. It blinds you to the fact that there are so many people around you that want to help. It's really tough. Mooney says, if she recently bought a pew pew, isn't there background checks for mental illness? Yeah, there are. But I think that if she's never been like or hospitalized or institutionalized, there wouldn't be any record of that. I don't know. Um, yeah. RNC sent a super sticker. Thank you very much for the Purple Heart. I really appreciate that. Paul Morey says, didn't Chandler just move out of their apartment? So if they broke up 2 years ago, they were just roommates. I'm actually not sure on that. I don't know. True Crime Junkie, I heard his mother on court TV. Such sad news. Wow. Julie sent a super chat. Thank you very much, Julie. Appreciate that. Let's see. Gloria, I believe there were so many signs and symptoms of her being so depressed and overwhelmed by this relationship, and nobody really intervened. Yeah, that's tough. It's hard to know how to intervene on a lot of those cases, right? But this definitely didn't end well, and it's tragic. Like, I don't want to downplay the ending of this. This is tragic for everybody. Yeah, shout out to Gazella. She is the best. Gazella is awesome. By the way, hey, speaking of Gazella, in a recent live stream that I did here on my channel, somebody suggested that I reach out to her and ask for the Micah Miller videos and stuff that she got as part of a FOIA request. I did reach out to her, and man, so quickly, she took care of me so fast. It was amazing. She sent it off to me, said, you're welcome to use it. So, you know, we might be using that in the future. She is awesome. I'm glad that there are people like her on YouTube. Gavin, have you ever done a collab video with Grizzly? I have. I've been a guest on her channel before when she covered Ellen Greenberg. That was before I got my new mic set up, so the sound was kind of low. But if you go to her channel and search my name, I bet you'll find it. Or search Ellen Greenberg, I bet you'll find it. Let's see. I think Nifty 50 says, I don't think it was rage. I think it was complete depression and desperation, and felt she could not go on without him, so she took them both so they could forever be together. Yeah, I don't know that we'll ever know, but that theory is just as good as mine. Sure. A couple more before we go. Paul Morey says Chandler's mother's interview implied that Chandler recently moved out of the apartment that they lived in together. So if they broke up 2 years ago, were they living as just roommates? I don't know. Agnes says, don't do a Harry talk out of school. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Julie, another super chat. Have you ever done a collab with? Yes, I have, Julie. Yep. Thank you for that question. Go on over to Grizzly True Crime and search Ellen Greenberg or search my name. You'll probably find it. Let's see. Young Black Economist. I've also looked at the distributions. You are an economist. I love it. I've looked at the distributions by generation recently. I explored the idea of writing a paper on divorce for my dissertation, but changed my mind. Millennials are getting married slightly older, but of people who get married young, divorce rates are actually decreasing by a lot compared to boomers and Gen X. So just find your happiness. Hey, thanks for that. I appreciate that comment. That's fun to learn. And good luck. Have you finished your dissertation? Are you done? I'd like to know. Let's see. Yeah, Autumn, I know that you've had some struggles in the past, as many of us have. I've been through some mental health issues, addiction, along with a breakup, and it gets rough. Yeah, but you guys, what you don't know about Autumn is that she is a fighter and a survivor and is doing amazing, in my opinion. She's awesome. I'm nearly 70 and know it still affects my life. Oh, I must have missed an earlier. There it is. Gavin, this happened to me 2 weeks after separation, but I survived. Wow. Well, I'm glad you did. Glad you did. And so is Patty. And so is She-Elf. Thank you very much. Lara says, late as usual, but here now. Hello. Glad you're here. We just go through a couple more. Ooh, I just went past it. Bluebonnet says it's called obsession. That is a good word. Yeah. All right. True Crime Junkie Gavin, I heard that her getting charged with keying his vehicle could have affected her job as well. Yeah, and did you notice that she was a lieutenant in the fire services? Where was it? Where was that? Let me go over here. I think it might be here. She was a lieutenant. He was a senior firefighter. So she had a higher rank. It was yeah, there it is. Liberty County Fire Services deeply saddened to receive the news regarding Lieutenant Reagan Anderson and senior firefighter Chandler Kubander. So I shouldn't make it appear that I know the hierarchy of fire stations, but I believe a lieutenant is a high rank. It's like right beneath captain, right? So, yeah, thank you for that. Maybe having those charges could have affected her job, and maybe that is something that that maybe spiraled her even further. Who knows? I don't think, Lisa, that they were married. I think that they were in a relationship for 7 years. So they were like 17. That would have put them in high school. They were like high school sweethearts. I do not believe that they had any children. I'm just going to skip on down because I've kept you guys on long enough. But so let's talk disabilities. Let's talk disabilities. Got it. Jeff, as far as background check for a pew-pew, is that state by state? What are the laws on that? The laws are complex, but they're both at a federal level and on a state level. So there are some states like California, like New York, that are way more stringent on their background checks than the federal law. Federal law, and it's been a long time since I've purchased a gun. I think there are provisions for mental illness. Like if you have a history of mental illness, if you have any type of felony convictions, if you lie on a form saying that you don't have any felony convictions, you'll get issues, right? So, yeah, it's both. It's federal and it's state by state. And we don't know if she had mental health problems in her past specifically. Carolyn, though, says that she had attempts on her own life before. He had always been able to talk her down. Rocky relationship. That's, I guess, from the interview on Court TV. I haven't seen it myself. Let's see if there's anything else. Anna says, hello, everyone new to your channel. Welcome, Anna. Just wanted to say you do a fantastic job covering the cases. Happy to have finally caught alive. I am happy that you're here as well. Guys, I think that's probably enough. We've been at it for close to an hour here, 45 minutes. I think that's pretty good. Thank you to those of you who have joined me. And those who are on the replay watch later, thank you very much for coming and checking it out. Remember that you can always find me on my website. The official website of gavinfish.com is gavinfish.com. I've got a blog up now, and I will be adding the story of Chandler Kubander and Reagan Anderson. Let's just take a look at them one more time. These are, I'm going to say both of them are victims for now because we don't know specifically what happened. Either way, we are saddened by their young departure from this life. Sad, sad, sad. But I will be updating the website with a blog post on this subject matter probably today or tomorrow. And you can always check me out there. Also, find us on the Fish Tank over here if you're on Facebook. We've got about 1,800 of us now in the Fish Tank, and a lot of action over there. And our moderators, Autumn and Jamie, are our admins of the Fish Tank. So join us over there if you haven't already. With that, guys, I will say good night to you, bid you adieu, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.